LeBron has finally done it. 38,390 points, surpassing the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to become the NBA's all-time scoring leader. It took him 18 years, over 14,000 field goals, 2,230 three-pointers, and just over 1,400 regular season games to accomplish it all. And now the question is, what's next? I mean, sure, there's still the question for ring number 5 and the chance to play with his son Bronny, but there's another record that the King should have his eye on, another record that many deemed as unbreakable. Yep, we're talking about that record. The one Wilt Chamberlain set on March 2nd, 1962 against the New York Knicks. The all-time record for the most points scored by a player in a single game, 100 points. Now, before you call me crazy, just look at how this season has played out. We haven't seen anyone score 70 points since Devin Booker did in 2017, and now we've seen it done twice this season, just a couple weeks apart. And it's not a coincidence why. It seems like every other night, some dude is dropping 50. Last season, the half-century mark was broken 19 times in the regular season. This season, including Dame 71, a player has scored 50 points 21 times. The NBA is actually in a record-scoring season, with teams averaging 114.3 points per game, the most since the 1969-70 season, when Jerry West was leading the league in scoring, with an offensive rating of 114.4 points per 100 possessions, the highest it's been since the 70s. But the stat that really tells why everyone's been on a scoring frenzy this season has to be the 47% field goal percentage the entire league is averaging, the highest in over 30 years. Top that with teams averaging 34 attempted threes a game. But to be fair, it's not really a case of the entire league forgetting how to defend. The league's defensive ratings have been pretty consistent the past decade. No, it's more because the NBA has evolved into a hyper-offensive league, and the league has catered to this fact. More spacing on the floor, tighter calls on the defensive end, faster pacing, more attention to the three-point shot. This is a new era of the NBA, the offense era, and it's not going to end anytime soon. In fact, we're probably going to get more and more out of hand. Why? Because fans are loving it. The league has become more popular than it has ever been. In fact, the salary cap has grown a lot the past several years, and the owners and players are getting paid. During the height of the Dubs dynasty in 2018, a team that many point a finger at for changing the culture of the league, had coach Steve Kerr even acknowledge where the league was going, saying the NBA is encouraging more offense with its rules, and how refs are calling games. The league was almost catered to offenses, and boy was he on point. Which brings us all the way back to LeBron James breaking Wilt Chamberlain's record. Well, okay, it could be a bit of a stretch now that you look at it. LeBron has never really been known as an elite three-point shooter. Dame shot 13 threes during his 71-point outing, while Donovan Mitchell had more manageable 7. But the game did go outside of regulation, so in retrospect, maybe LeBron needs to chuck about 100 shots, go into triple OT, and make 30 trips to the free throw line to get that record. But hey, it's the NBA. We've seen crazier things happen. And I mean, if not LeBron, then what's stopping the next guy from trying to get the century mark? Sure, it's 70 this season, but it could very well be 80 next season. Kobe did it well before this hyper-offensive era began, and maybe the season after that someone tries to go for 90. And if LeBron could sniff the record and hunt it down at nearly 40 years old, no one would question who the GOAT is anymore.